Planet Dolan.
From a brother who fends off homophobes to a sister who hides things from overprotective parents, the Planet Dolan crew reenacts some of the best true stories from our subreddit about the coolest things our siblings did for us. I'm Pringle the One, and today, I'll be your narrator. Number 10 was submitted by JJCrystalT. Ladybot's older brother is the coolest sibling ever. One time he and his buddies joined Ladybot and her friend for lunch. It was going all well until Ladybot gave her female friend a super close hug and shared some food with her. Her brother's friend was a bit homophobic, so he made some mean jokes about Ladybot's sexuality. Ladybot told him that she liked girls, and the guy licked his lips and said he would be happy to change her mind. Ladybot's brother immediately stepped in. He told his friend to shut up and get the hell out, and his friend was walking away. Ladybot's brother shouted, "Not only can my sister kick your ass, but she'll screw your woman too." Number 9 was submitted by My Fab Slav. When Sweet Commando was a teenager, he went to his first party and got really drunk. At the end of the night, his friends abandoned him and Sweet Commando had no way to get home. He couldn't call his super strict parents, so he was forced to call his sister, who was usually mean and selfish. Sweet Commando's sister had to drive hours to get to the party. Sweet Commando thought she would be super pissed, but instead of judging him, she just gave him some water, collected his things, and put him in the car. She drove him all the way home, stopping every 5 minutes so Sweet Commando could puke, and even bought him a pack of cigarettes. That was the first time Sweet Commando and his sister bonded as adults. He'll never forget it. Number 8 was submitted by CooperGal24. A few years ago, Andy Mason's dad was getting married to his new partner. Andy's future stepmom had 3 daughters to her previous marriage, and Andy was worried she wouldn't be accepted by her new family. Andy also didn't have a proper dress to wear to the wedding. She thought she would look like a total loser on the day, but to her surprise, her future stepsisters offered to take her out dress shopping. When Andy found something, they insisted on paying for it, and even bought her an entirely new outfit as a welcome to the family gift. Andy was so happy that her new stepsisters had welcomed her and accepted her into their family. She was secretly prepared to hate them. Number 7 was submitted by FazbearFan12. In high school, Pandora was a total loner who got bullied for being different. Her twin sister, on the other hand, was the total opposite. She was really popular and no one dared to mess with her. One day, Pandora's twin overheard a boy named Anthony plotting a mean prank he was going to pull on Pandora. Instead of confronting him, Pandora's twin decided to come in the next day pretending to be Pandora. Anthony mistook her for Pandora and assumed she wouldn't stand up for herself. Right as he was about to pull his prank, Pandora's twin punched him in the nose. Anthony was so shocked he started crying. From that day, no one ever messed with Pandora again. Number 6 was submitted by MintSlice337. Doopie's parents are extremely overprotective. They don't let Doopie date and want her to wait until marriage before having sex. Doopie hates the rules and lies about where she is when she goes out. One day, Doopie was about to drive somewhere in her car when her dad and brother came over. While they were talking, Doopie's glove compartment opened and a box of condoms dropped onto the floor. Doopie was sure she was going to be grounded for eternity or shipped off to live with her aunt, but to her surprise, her quick-thinking brother dropped his hat over the box and covered it up. Doopie's brother was usually a total pain in the ass, but the gesture showed Doopie that he really did care about her deep down. Number 5 was submitted by KingSlayer1217. When Nixium was 10, he was really into classical music and dreamed of being a musician someday. His 2 brothers would tease him about this every day, so Nixium grew up thinking no one in his family supported his dream. When Nixium's 11th birthday came around, he wasn't expecting much, but amazingly, one of his gifts turned out to be an expensive new violin. Apparently, Nixium's 2 brothers had saved their pocket money up all year to get it. He still has his first violin to this day. Number 4 was submitted by CryingRhino. One night, Hellbent went to a concert in the next town over. It didn't finish until 2 o'clock in the morning. By then, Hellbent was starving, so he decided to give his little brother a brotherly 2 a.m. wake-up call. He asked his brother to get out of bed, heat up the oven, and put some potatoes in for him. Hellbent didn't really think he would do it, but when he got home after his long drive, he had golden brown potatoes waiting for him. It was the coolest thing his brother ever did for him. Number 3 was submitted by pizzatycoon. When Gergak was 4, he got dragged to a hardware store with his dad and 12-year-old brother. Gergak was bored out of his mind, so his brother lifted him up onto his shoulders, raised his hands, and told Gergak to grab onto his thumbs. For the next hour and a half, Gergak pretended his brother was a huge badass robot and he was the pilot. Together they stomped around the store, blowing up other customers with their missiles. One man even played along and started shooting back. They had a huge imaginary firefight and destroyed the aisle with their imaginary explosions. Gurek will always remember how his brother turned a boring trip to the hardware store into one of his most treasured memories. Number 2 was submitted by FunnyWalk89. James Shark has a brother who was addicted to heroin. For years, his brother's addiction caused him to lie, cheat, and steal from the rest of his family. By far, the coolest thing he ever did for James Shark was to get himself sober. He put in a lot of effort to repair their relationship and wrote an 8-page letter apologizing for all the things he'd done on drugs. It took 2 years of sobriety for James Shark to let him back into his life and trust him. They have a great relationship now, and James Shark is just really glad to have his brother back. Number 1 was submitted by me, your narrator, Pringle the One. One of the coolest things a sibling did for me was when we went to the Atlantis Paradise Resort in the Bahamas. This was one of the most famous and popular resorts to date, and it was really nice. I was only 11 years old at the time, and I barely knew really what was going on, but I did like the scenery and everything around it. It was at that time that we noticed that there was a pool park in the Atlantis, so we went to the Atlantis pool park. The pool park was amazing. It had swings, it had slides, it had everything a child my age could dream of in a pool park. So by the time I noticed all of the pools, there was one up top. It was really high up and you had to take ladders to get there. I got up to the pool and it was pretty shallow, so it was perfect for my height. Across from that I saw a pool, but it was on a lower level, but you had to take a slide to get there. So I took the slide, and as I was landing into the lower pool, I didn't notice it was actually a deep end pool. So I landed inside and I started drowning. I started flaying my arms and just asking, please help, help, help. But I drowned too quick. I was already deep underwater and I started believing that it was it. I was gonna die, and that was pretty much it. At that very point in time, my sister rescued and saved my life. She pulled me out of the water and put me to sit down afterwards. I was amazed I actually lived after that day, because I swear it was time for me to go. And after that, I gotta say, that was probably one of the coolest things my sibling ever did for me, and I'll never forget it. Huge thanks for the folks over on our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. We have another question for you. What's the weirdest rule your school has? Let us know on the Reddit page linked below, and you might be featured in a future countdown. This video was made possible by our fans over on Patreon. Thanks for your support, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care. Peace.